I remember this one Christmas Eve. We always spent Christmas Eve at my mom's parents' place, my grandpa and grandma Williams. And one Christmas Eve when I was about 8 or 9 years old, all of a sudden, we're sitting around and we've eaten our food and we've exchanged our gifts and we're just sitting around listening to grandma and grandpa talk, which is what you do when you're a little boy. And suddenly Santa Claus comes bursting into the house. I mean, the whole 9 yards, big belly, red fur, the ho, ho, ho. He's got a bag across his shoulders. My brother and I, we were the only grandkids at that time. We were just starstruck. And he comes and he hands me a present. He hands my brother a present. And then he's gone, just like that. And I even remember what the present was. It was a little action figure of the $6 Million Man, which was my favorite show at the time. And you could press a button on his back and he would karate chop, and you could look through a little hole in the back of the head and you could see his bionic vision. And, secretly, I think he was married to Farrah Fawcett at the time, but I didn't. Anyway, that's only going to work in this service, And the funny thing is, I knew, 8 or 9 years old, I knew, okay, that's not really Santa Claus because it's not time for that yet. He comes later. He comes when I'm in bed. That's somebody else. But it was years later that I asked my dad, I said, hey, Dad, remember that time we had Santa Claus? He said, who was that? And he said, oh, that was a guy I work with. And he used to play Santa at different places. And I asked him to come. And Dad worked in Victoria. It was 30 miles away. This guy had to find my grandparents' house out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know what my dad paid him to do that. My point is, why would he do that? Why would he arrange that for my brother and me? Well, every one of you who's ever been a parent knows the answer. Because the main job of a parent is not to make his kids happy. A main job of a parent is to raise them up, to protect them, to teach them and train them and nurture them so that they're able to be healthy and responsible adults someday. But if you love your kids, you love to see them happy. And you love to do little things to put a smile on their face. And that's why Dad did that night. So you ask the question, why does God create beauty and fun and laughter and affection and all the things that bring us pleasure, that bring happiness to our lives? Every one of those, I'll quote the Lord's own brother, the book of James, every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, in whom is no shifting shadow. Every single good thing is just a gift from him. And so every time we enjoy those gifts in the next couple of days, if you get to see loved ones, if you get to laugh with them, if you get to hug them, if you get to enjoy some good food, if you get to enjoy good music, every one of those things is a gift from God. And he will delight in watching you enjoy them, especially if you enjoy them with gratitude in your heart for him, because it's intended to bring you closer to him. But even with all those gifts are great, but none of those gifts are enough. The greatest pleasure you'll ever have, whatever it is, it fades. So God gave us himself. That's what Christmas is. It's the day God came into our world and said, I'm going to open the door so you can have me, the ultimate source of joy. And your joy, therefore, will never end.